Welcome back. All right, so 2021 draft. I normally by this time of year would have got the whole list done, basically, right? We're waiting on the draft. This is not a normal year. And I would normally have a lot more notes on the guy who's going first overall. I'm not going to be able to do nearly as many prospect videos for this year's draft as early as I normally would. I'm still waiting on the black book from hockeyprospect.com, which is such a fantastic, comprehensive look at draft classes. It's fantastic. I know there's a lot of testimonials given by people in the media thanking them for all this information, and they do collect a ton of information. So, what I'm going with here, the Hockey News has brought out their listing for this year's prospects and for this year's draft. Elite prospects, a couple other sites as well. And we're going to start off with Owen Power because Owen Power is going to go number one to Buffalo. Act surprised when it happens. It's got to be Owen Power for Buffalo. Now they've got Rasmus Dahlin. Dahlin is still projected to be one of the best defensemen in the league at some point. Now we can all have that debate about how Buffalo does or doesn't develop well, but Owen Power, they have to take him, right? He's 6'5" or 6'6", depending on which listing you're looking at. Since he's 18 years of age, it is quite possible that he's taller now than he was when some of these scouting reports were made up. So 6'5" or 6'6", he's very tall. 195 centimeters for those who are on the European side of things. 214 pounds, which is 97 kilos. I haven't seen a change of his weight on any of the listings I looked at. So he's already got NHL projectable size. And that's important. It's not as important as it used to be. But if you have two defensemen of equal skill levels, and one of them's 5'11" and the other one's 6'5" or 6'6", the guy who's 6'6" is probably going to go first. His top attributes: strength, teamwork, puck handling, and he's very good at kind of every level of the game. And for the offensive side of things, he's learning it. Played in Michigan this year. Going to hear a lot about Michigan guys over the next couple of months here. 26 games, 3 goals, 13 assists, 16 points. What's remarkable is that he makes his debut in the NCAA, college hockey, at 17, and he's not eased into the lineup. We often see guys, even some top prospects, who when they first reach the NCAA, they're eased in. They're not thrown to the Wolves. And now the Wolverines have done exactly that. So for Michigan, top pair minutes, second unit power play. And again, for scouts, they've been salivating over this guy all year. Skating, size, hands, and the high hockey IQ. High hockey IQ, you're going to hear a lot about this when we talk about prospects. It really is a measure of, okay, so who makes the smart decisions on the ice? Who thinks a step ahead of the game? And for Power, he's one of those guys. So while I cringe when I hear comparisons to Victor Hedman, because I don't think that's fair, I don't think it's fair to tell an 18-year-old kid, hey, so we see you as like a Hedman type. How do you feel about that? The kid's probably going to say, can I graduate college first? Or so he and Matty Beniers, Kent Johnson, are all likely early picks. Now, I know with Kent Johnson, there's already a desire in Vancouver of, hey, maybe we can get him. He won't be available at 9. I'd be very, very, very surprised if he's available at 9. Owen Power won't be available at 2. And it's possible that Power and Beniers, both out of Michigan, go 1 and 2 in the draft, which is remarkable. But again, it shows that Michigan's program, not too shabby. Michigan didn't let Owen Power go to the World Juniors. They felt that him missing 51 days of school for the World Junior Championships, which is what they estimated it would be, was just too much. So I can't argue with them on that at all. And he doesn't argue with them either. He was disappointed he didn't get to go and play for Team Canada. However, he's playing for Team Canada now at the IIHF Worlds, and he's doing pretty well. And I think that's turned a lot of heads and made it far more likely that he'll be the number 1 pick, and people will be more excited about it. His play for Team Canada should definitely have people more excited around Buffalo as well. And I know Buffalo's had a hard time for a decade, and it's been bad. However, Owen Power is seen as a can't miss. And I can't see Buffalo trading the pick. I can't see Buffalo not taking Power. And I think he's going to be very good for them. He should develop into a top 2. Plays in all situations. So again, this is why people are like, oh, you mean like Hedman? No, well, let's let him become Owen Power first, then we can figure out who he's going to be after. He will return to Michigan next season, and what's interesting is another top prospect from this year, Luke Hughes, has committed to joining the Michigan Wolverines next year. So that's not too bad. I have a feeling those Michigan jerseys are going to be kind of popular with hockey fans, which is good because Michigan, when I used to follow college football regularly, I always thought Michigan had a kind of a sharp look and different look, and I wouldn't mind a Michigan jersey myself. Not that I'm going to get into the NCAA jerseys. I've got enough. But yeah, so his NCAA stats from this year definitely impressed those in charge of deciding who ends up where. He was on the all-rookie team, and he also ends up on the second all-star team. And, there's discussions about, hey, maybe he ends up winning a Hobie Baker before he leaves the NCAA ranks. He is considered to be a guy with the elite level likelihood of becoming one of the best players in the league. But again, I really think part of it may very well be that it's a defenseman. It's not seen as being as sexy a number one pick as we normally get. Definitely not the same amount of hype as Lafreniere got last year. Not the same amount of hype we're going to see over the next couple of drafts for number one picks. But he's still going to be very good. So I guess the question I have is, for people who've watched him play for Team Canada, are you excited now to see him play for Buffalo? Are you scared to see him play for Buffalo? And if you're a Sabres fan and you've seen him play for Team Canada, does that give you some hope? Again, he goes to Michigan next year. He won't play in the NHL next year unless he were to forego his NCAA career. At 18, I just don't see it because again, he could use some more time at the NCAA learning the game and maybe staying away from Buffalo for one more year. We just don't know what's going to happen with Buffalo, right? And we'd rather that Owen Power develops properly and becomes the next Hedman. I won't say it. I didn't technically. I didn't mean it. Because again, I think it puts too much pressure on these kids. I do. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happen upon this video. And again, I'll be able to do a few of these, but until the book comes out from Hockey Prospect that has all this information on all the draft picks, it's probably just going to be the guys at the top that you can find a lot of information about. But again, let me know your thoughts. Hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just happen upon this video. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.